we're about to go somewhere odd now. Times to rise and elevation starts to drop down. Our little secret, don't kiss and tell, you're so bad. I'll probably see you in hell. Welcome to hell, baby. This is podcast hell.
It's a fun vibe to do sunglasses in the house. I think you should keep it. You should feel no judgment. I mean, I think it's fun.
I don't want you to... I mean, can you connect with me?
Yeah.
If I have the glasses.
I can still see your eyes.
Oh, you can?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good to know.
Is that bad?
Well, no, it's fine, but I wear these a lot, and I think sometimes...
So you can check out tits when you're talking to...
Yeah, that's me. Just checking out all the tits.
Just checking all those titties?
No, but I'm like... I just always assume no one can see my eyes, so if I'm wearing these, so then you think that, like, I don't know, if you're giving someone the stink eye or
How often? Because you're very clearly, I can see exactly what your eyes are doing. So if you've thought that those are shading you, you're completely wrong.
I might not be able to do this for very long. It's like too dark, but then it's too bright. I don't know. We'll see.
But can you see me?
Oh, for sure.
Well, you don't need to be like, we're not commenting on the things outside the window. You can just wear what's comfortable for your eyes.
Oh no, we're on the second floor. I was like, you never know what could walk by, but. Never
Nothing.
mind.
I mean, every once in a while, a cat will come across because these neighbors leave their.
That's entertainment.
A little kitty cat.
Yeah.
Yeah. One time, a dog came over.
Oh.
Not cool.
No, that's.
And
scary,
I brought him in here and had him like hang out for 6 hours until they were like, knock knock. Has anybody seen my dog? I'm like, yeah, he's in my fucking room.
Oh my god.
Can you close your thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did he get over here?
Because it's an attached
like a balcony.
It's in a balcony. It's attached to theirs, so it was just a little tiny dog that just snuck out through their bedroom, came up, and then hopped down and was at the door while I was working.
He was trying to escape something.
Maybe he did. He did die later. Not like I didn't fucking get that day. He was an older dog. He's now dead.
I know. I'm sorry to laugh, but it's just like you can't just throw that at me like dead dog.
I'm sorry. I found out yesterday.
Okay. Now I wish I had my glasses back on. So
I've had a couple ladies on the podcast where I've mentioned
only a couple.
I try to keep it once every 3 months max. Sorry. No, I've had a couple ladies on the podcast who I've mentioned dead dogs to, and they don't react well.
I mean, do men not care?
I don't think men care as much.
Oh, that can't be true.
I mean, I love my dog.
What about John Wick?
That's a great.
Like every time you bring up a dog around certain men, they're like, "Oh, I would John Wick it." You know what I mean about their dogs?
Yeah, well, if somebody killed the dog.
Well, sure.
Yeah, I mean, that's different. That's tapping into a man's vengeance, which I think we have more of that. But if you're just talking about like the sad, like. Yeah. The passage of a dog's life. Yeah. I think it probably affects a lady a little bit more.
Okay, sure. But I'm going to go back to that vengeance thing.
Well, you don't agree?
No. I think you're saying men have more vengeance.
Aggression.
Oh, aggression.
Like physical aggression.
Because I was going to say, I think women have a lot of vengeance. They just do it in a very like slow, subtle, calculating. Like you're going to feel it 20 years from now.
Yeah. They use because for most women, not all women, but a lot of women, like they're not going to like physically beat you up. Or
they can't, they're weak.
But even if with another lady, they're probably they're less likely to resort to physical violence.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But if you're not going to be physically violent, then you need to be like emotionally.
You have to be able to do something.
Yeah, you have to like reputation, slander somebody, or like fucking do some evil like turn people against. Yeah, it's gnarly.
Well, I had two sisters growing up. I still have two sisters, but I also had them growing up.
That's good.
The oldest one, I don't remember the youngest one being physical, but the oldest one, I mean, if she listens to this, she'd be like, "You're a liar." But I don't think I'm lying that she did used to like hit or like be physical, but I couldn't do that. I was a tiny little like girl. Yeah. And the only thing I had was like my sassiness. And so I was always like, having these like retorts that were smart and funny.
Yes.
But ultimately she would win. I mean, she literally one time like pinned me down and like spit on my face.
Yeah.
And like I could do nothing because I was tiny.
How much older was she?
3 years older.
Okay. So this was happening when you were how old?
I don't know. I mean, let's say 10 and 7.
Okay.
She was like bigger,
yeah.
But like I was old enough to realize like I can say things that are mean. That's what I've got.
Yeah. We never, so I have 3 younger siblings, 2 sisters and a brother. Mm-hmm. And I have 2 step siblings, but I didn't grow up with them. And we never got like physical with each other, except for me and my sister, who were close in age.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And she was very strong. Like, I'm not like a weak. I was like an average. I grew at an average rate of a kid.
Yeah.
My younger sister was insanely strong.
Yeah.
And recently, like, she's been like going to the gym, and I guess she had a personal trainer, and the personal trainer was like, "You have the muscle index of a professional power lifter."
Oh my gosh.
Have you ever considered powerlifting like professionally? And she was telling me this in the car. I just said her name. Fuck, I'll bleep it out.
Oh right, no names.
No names.
Okay.
No names. But I'll probably leave it in.
I barely heard the name you just said, by the way. Oh, okay. Now that it's clear.
Fuck.
He did it.
That was the one yell.
Oh no.
We're not supposed to yell. She's she's that.
Arf. Oh, what an inside joke no one's going to get.
We'll explain it to him. We'll explain them to him later. They're going to wonder where Gordon is in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
What was I saying?
About your sister being a bodybuilder.
Oh, no. So last time I was home, she tells me, she's like, "Isn't that crazy?" I was like, "That's the least surprising thing I've ever heard."
Yeah, you're like,
you used to like deadlift me when you were 5.
And she's like a year or two or
young.
in your
She's
age range.
Only 14 months younger than me.
Yeah.
And and when we would fight, it was like a pretty even match.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't like I remember like as I get older, I'd be like, I should take it easy, and then 10 seconds in, I'd be like, I'm gonna go full force or I'm gonna lose.
You have to.
Yeah, you know.
Also, I think don't girls grow faster than guys?
That is yes.
I think they have like their spurts first. So there's like a time where they're like that girl from Hey Arnold. You know, she was like really
what was her name? I know Helga.
Helga, yeah. She was like so much taller than all the other kids.
Yeah, and doesn't it end with them hooking up? Not hooking up. They don't hook up. It's not like a full penetration scene.
Like the series?
The series, I think it ends up that like she has a crush on Arnold, and that's why she's bullying him.
That makes sense. I've never really thought about, like, I don't know how Doug ended or Rugrats. Like, I didn't realize these cartoons like ended.
They had a definitive. Well, they did. That is a crazy thing. It all ended.
Yeah, at some point.
At some point, they were like the finale.
Yeah.
And like some finale, you know, it's like Seinfeld. We fucking talk about it 20 years later. And then there's shows like that we all reference it, like from my childhood. I think about it all the time. I'm like, how did fucking the first Ninja Turtles end?
Yeah, but I think it must be a cartoon thing because they don't age.
Yeah.
So, and they're, you know, what's the word where like each episode is like a different thing?
Evergreen?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Well, yes, but also like they're not following like a big old plot in like Hey Arnold. It's just like every day, like what's happening in the neighborhood today or whatever. But me and my TV addiction, now I like want to start Hey Arnold from the beginning.
Are you like that where when you start watching something, episode 1 to the end? To the very end. I'm the same way. And I'll do it in like 2 weeks. And I hate when people are like, you can just start in the 3rd season. I'm like, fuck. Absolutely. You don't know who you're talking to. Yeah, no, you have to start at the beginning. Not only because of like the Easter eggs, the callbacks, all that fun stuff, but also, you know, as writers, can we say that? Yeah, you can say it. As writer, it's about learning, you know, what works and what doesn't, and seeing how things get better as it ages. I mean, we brought up Seinfeld, so I'll go with that. I mean, Seinfeld was, I thought, amazing its first season, but it also kept getting better. People hate the first season of Seinfeld. I know. I was going to use that. I was going to use that as an example of like people will tell me, "Watch you never watched Seinfeld? Well, skip the first couple." I'm like, no. That alone has made me not want to go into it. Yeah, because I'm like, I don't want to. I can't skip a season. Well, also if you start in season 3 or whatever, I think there's only like 6 seasons. No, maybe 10. I forget. But you know, the whole thing about the finale is that they have the same conversation they had in episode 1, the pilot. Yeah. So if you didn't see that, you'd be like, what the hell is this button conversation? You know what I mean? It comes like full circle for you. Yeah. The pilot did not have Elaine though, which was a big miss. So once they added Elaine, it hits. There you go. Yeah. I did I'm embarrassed to say this because I think it is embarrassing. Uh-oh. But when I was in high school, I reviewed the last episode of Seinfeld in the paper. The printed paper? The school paper. Oh, okay. Not like the fucking Washington Post.
What did you? Did you grow up in Washington?
Yeah, I did. I was in high school outside of DC.
Okay, so it could have been the Post.
But it wasn't the Post.
I know,
It was, and I wrote this like very like. I was Catholic high school. I must have been like a freshman or a sophomore. I did not watch Seinfeld, but I watched the ending and heard people complaining about it, and I was like, oh, it's good because it's like morality. Like they're introducing morality back into it. So I just felt like now I look back, I'm like, oh, I'm one of those hacky Catholic like organizations that just criticizes something because someone told them something bad about it. But at the time, I felt very passionately that it was important that the characters on Seinfeld were held accountable for the things they did.
Yeah.
I still kind of agree with that, not for a religious reason, just for like, also I'm like, when somebody's ending a show, if they fucking worked on it for that long, it's their prerogative how they want to end it. It's more about, like, to me, it's like, it's the completion of art, not like making sure the person observing it feels good. Yeah. I don't know. That's my feeling. I don't know if that's
I guess it kind of depends on the content that you're making. If you're making Seinfeld, you don't care about what the person watching feels. Yeah. Because none of those characters are reflective of that. Also, I'm pretty sure their sentence was only a year. Yeah. Right? So it's like, it's fine. You guys, if they wanted to bring the show back, which, God, I hope they don't with all the reboots and stuff. Yeah. But like, if they were, it could just be like, oh, and a year later, that's where they pick up. I mean, now they couldn't because they're much older. But I'm saying if they were to bring it back like 2 years after the show had originally ended in, 90-something? My years.
Something like that.
Yeah. Something like that. Yeah, they would, or they'd get out the very next day or something because they figured out some sort of loophole with one of their weird lawyers or whatever.
They left it open.
They left it open. It wasn't like,
they didn't kill them.
When I was younger watching the show, I was like, oh, I didn't calculate what a year was in my brain. And I was like, oh my God, they're in jail forever now. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like, no, they'll get out.
No, and they seemed like they were in like, relatively low security. They weren't in Rikers.
Well, also I've like just the set itself, you could literally like pick up the like bars.
Oh yeah, like the slow pullback.
And it's just like a cube that they're in, Yeah.
I do have to watch TV shows start to finish. I don't really write that much. It's not for writing purposes for me. It's like a weird thing where I'm like, I want to know everything that happened. Otherwise, I like obsess over it. Yeah. Like if I missed an episode, like if I start watching a series, even if I fucking hate it, I will finish it. Yeah. Seasons of shows that I'm not even enjoying.
I do that with shows I don't like either. Yeah. I'm still watching Grey's Anatomy. Are we allowed to say names? I don't know.
You can say the name of TV shows.
Is Shonda Rhimes gonna find me?
I don't even know why I don't say names. There is a very tiny period in my life. Very small period when I was on America's Got Talent and people started following my family members and they were like, we're getting messages. And I was like, I'll never say your name again.
Oh, that's scary, actually.
That time has long passed. Yeah. Okay. So like, this is back to being like, an hour in, you can start screaming.
You've got me on the show, so. Yeah, you can.
You can start saying the N-word if you want. Nobody will ever hear it. I'm saying just nobody's listening. Like there's no risk here. But like, in my head, I'm always like, someone's going to message my sister something, and I'm going to feel bad. So I'm like, so now I try not to say people's names.
But we can say Grey's Anatomy.
Yeah, Shonda Rhimes is fine.
Anyway, I'm still watching that shit show. It's the worst show on television, but I can't stop watching.
No, that's why like when someone tells me start watching a show, I'm like, how many seasons? Is it fucking good? Because if I watch the pilot, I'm going to feel compelled to keep going. It just sucks.
You know what show I did not keep watching? It's very rare for me, is American Gods. Because I read so much about it, and I was like, oh, I gotta watch this show. And this was not that long ago, but long enough ago that it was a DVD from Netflix. I was still doing that right up until they just canceled it like 6 months ago. Sure. And that was partly why I didn't continue, because I was like, well, if I'm going to continue, I'm going to have to get another DVD in the mail to continue this show, and it wasn't worth it to me. I thought that show was so stupid.
Doesn't Dane Cook die in the first episode?
Maybe.
Gets thrown from a car?
Yes. Okay, I like barely remember that.
I'm always rooting for Dane Cook's career to get better.
Are you?
Yes.
Are you guys butts?
No. I don't even know why. Like I liked him so much when I was 15. And
that's about the right age to like Dane Cook, for sure.
There's something about like the hate he got that I just didn't feel was fair. Like I don't
It was
think
because he stole jokes, though, right?
he didn't really steal jokes.
Oh, he didn't. Well, because I was gonna say like it is fair if he stole the jokes.
If you're a joke thief, but I will say this also, like I'm not justifying joke thieves. It sucks.
Sure.
But like what happens is it's not always like someone stealing a joke. Mm-hmm. It's like someone gets to a point where they hire writers.
Okay,
the writers hear something. They're in a writing room at 2:00 and they're like, what about this? And they just start transcribing a fucking Mad TV sketch they saw 15 years ago.
Sure.
It's like there's only so much content. And once you're involving other people, you have parallel thinking. Like that stuff happens.
Yeah.
So like as a comic, like I've definitely had conversations with people where I'm like, hey man, I've been doing that joke for 3 years. Or like if we're on the same
circuit.
Or if we're like doing a show together, like I've had that conversation with people in New York where it's like, don't do your fucking joke. I'm gonna like I've had that convo.
Really?
So it's not like always there are actual joke thieves and that sucks. Yeah. But then there's like this other thing that happens. Yeah. Well they don't even fucking like hide it. They're like,
no, they don't hide it.
When you submit your packet, we can take your sketches. Yeah. And they did that to one of my, I'm gonna say acquaintance.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little understandable to me only when, it'll be someone like workshopped a sketch at like the Groundlings or whatever. And then eventually they got on the show and then that sketch gets on the show. It's like, okay, well that sketch had a journey, but it's not entirely stolen. But there are times when it's like, oh, that was fully stolen.
It sucks. I mean, I don't know. Like I get so jaded or disillusioned with that stuff. Where now I'm just like, if I like something enough, I'll just fucking make it myself, even if it looks like shit.
Yeah.
I'd rather just make it myself and be able to point to that than like submit stuff.
Oh,
like,
sure.
I'm just like, I don't know. I'm so like out of the Hollywood thing now. Like I'm just doing my podcast. I happen to live here, but like I'm not like trying to enter. And what's funny is like as soon as you do that, because I've felt that way for like 6 months.
Yeah.
People start fucking offering stuff.
Yeah.
And I've like said no to things that like 2 years ago would have been like, ooh, this is cool. And now I'm like, I don't want to waste a weekend on set for something that might not happen. Like it's just, I don't know. I just feel much less like it's like I'm accepting where my career is going, which is like I'm gonna have a day job. I'm going to make my own shit. I like just talking with like this creatively feels cool. Like having my own thing. I can have whoever I want on my podcast. Although I did get an episode taken off of YouTube.
Like YouTube contacted you or whatever?
No, they were just like, this is
fully removed it.
They said conspiracy theory.
Oh, did I see that on Instagram? Was it the Russian thing?
No. What was the Russian thing?
No, that might be someone else.
Yeah, this was like an obvious joke that they thought was serious.
Oh, it was a stand-up video.
No.
Oh, it was the podcast.
It was the podcast. Oh. And somebody like said something that...
Well, don't say it now.
I'm not going to say it again.
I want this to live on forever.
I'll tell you after the show. But it's like, when I tell you what it is, you're going to be like, that's not a conspiracy. It's like, obviously, it'd be the same thing as being like, Joe Biden's head is actually an egg, and if you crack it, a raptor will come out and jizz on you. Like, it's that level of stupid. Sure. And they said, and I went like, are you sure this, can you review this? And they went, we've reviewed it. This violates our policy. I'm like, God damn it. They're just pushing me over to Rumble.
Yeah.
They're just pushing me to like.
But it could help, elevate the next step of your career or this podcast when shit like that happens, because if enough people hear about it, they're like, they're trying to silence.
I've been silenced.
Exactly.
Maybe I have to, maybe I release a video being like, if you want to see the banned episode of
go to
Podcast
Vimeo
Hell. Yeah, go to Vimeo.
I don't know what other platforms are out there.
Fucking Vimeo. No, Vimeo. Yeah, I used to have a Vimeo. I thought that was going to be the future.
I mean, yeah, they did kind of die down a little. I mean, it's really, in my opinion, more for like filmmakers.
Yeah.
Less about like sketch comedy or like stand up. But yeah, everything's on there.
Yeah, I put my pilot on there.
Yeah, that's where it belongs.
Yeah. Well, now I'm like, why the fuck did I put it on YouTube now?
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna move it. I'm gonna put it on YouTube next month.
I have like short films on Vimeo, but one of them is like 20 minutes long.
Yeah.
And I guess I could put that on YouTube.
Put it on YouTube.
But it's one of those things where I'm like, I wish I could like transfer the views over or something.
How many views does it have on Vimeo?
I mean, it's only got like 2,000. But that's a lot for me.
Whoa.
For a 20-minute short film, 2,000. That's a lot for me. So I'm like, I want to start with 2,000 views. No.
You just put it on YouTube, and then the first comment, you go, this has 2,000 views on Vimeo.
No, I'm going to have like a fake account, and it's just going to be like, nice tits, or like something, so that like I'm drawing it, and people are like, are there tits in this? I mean, technically there are.
Technically, there are tits.
There are tits all around us.
Yeah. I mean, look, that's a pretty good draw-in for anything you ever make. You could just always just do. I should do that. Just nice bulge every single thing I do.
Yeah.
I mean, look, if you go into YouTube, the thing that is always going to be horrifying is like the first onslaught of comments. Never feels good.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't get a lot of comments. My YouTube videos are very old. I haven't put anything on YouTube in like 10 years. But every once in a while I'll get this like notification on, email.
Yeah.
That's like YouTube comment. I'm like, what's this? And it's always someone being mean. It's always like, what did I just watch? Or like, what the fuck? And you're like, who are you?
And honestly, if you can get like that stuff is not even bad now.
No, I know.
You're like,
it doesn't hurt me.
Yeah, I write back. I'm like, yeah, I do suck. You got a good point. I agree. I have gotten fatter. Nah, that's a good point.
You're paying attention. I have a fan.
That was my first YouTube comment. It was like way back at the pit. I also, by the way, I was like 50 pounds less than I am now. I was like not even that. I was like pretty good shape. Yeah. And I was wearing a gold Snitch costume. I was running around a field for...
Oh, like Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then it had like 10 views and one comment that just said, who's the fat guy in the gold...
And now you're married
and
to
I was just, I was
She was like, ooh la la, who's the fat guy in that gold suit?
I like it. No, I should have taken it like a compliment, like Lizzo, like, fat boy running in the fat boy in a field. But instead I was like,
oh no.
It made me so sad. But then I was like, now I know just to never care.
Yeah.
And like, I remember me and Liz did a thing where it was like we auditioned to be a news team, and they let us do like 3 of these sketches it was like libertarian news or something.
Oh.
I don't even know what it was. Like it was like an acting thing. But the comments were it would get like 10,000 comments. Like it must have been funded by some company that was paying like, troll farms or something.
Oh, so it wasn't an audition. You got the gig.
We got the gig.
Oh, okay. I see.
So we auditioned. We auditioned together. We didn't even tell them that we were a couple. I thought we did.
Yeah.
And they booked us, and they were like, "You guys have really good chemistry." And we were like, "Well, she's my wife." And they were like, "Really?"
Oh.
We're like, "Yeah." I thought that was
great. We can pay you less.
Yeah. Well, I think we like made out in the audition. I was like, I can't believe they didn't know that we were already together.
Yeah.
But we booked this thing, and then the comments would just be fucking insane.
Mm-hmm.
And I had one guy that said something mean about Liz that I tracked down.
Dear.
I found him. And like, it was the...
John Wicked him.
Yeah, John Wick killed his whole fucking...
Oh, no.
I found him, and I was like, you got a picture of your wife and your daughter, and you're online saying things about women? You fuck... I just white knighted it.
Honestly, though, he's got a picture of his daughter online, and he's being like that. Like,
it is,
that's not great.
Well, this is how he responded. As soon as I hit send, I went, that was so dumb. Why did I... Mm-hmm. Paragraphs of just why, fuck you. And then 6 months later, he wrote back, Six months later, he writes back, who's this? And I went, God damn it. What am I doing? Never let them... It means nothing. It's just fucking, water off your back. Is that what it is?
Water off a duck's back.
What about my back?
I think it's going to stay.
Water off a duck's back.
Yeah. I'm imagining you have a hairy back, by the way.
I actually do have a pretty, relatively.
Most guys do.
I've had it pulled.
Oh, like with waxed.
the wax? Yeah.
Like that movie. I shouldn't just constantly reference TV shows and movies. 40-Year-Old Virgin.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's okay.
Did you do it for fun, like for a joke?
No.
Oh, you just wanted to get rid of it.
Yeah, I was like going to the beach or something.
Oh.
I was like, what would it look like with a clean back?
Ooh, how close to the timeline, like when you did it and then you went to the beach? How much time it got?
It was probably like I don't remember, like 2 days or something. Oof. Like the hair stayed off for a while.
Yeah, I mean, but it's like your skin is really sensitive. Like even if you just like shave your legs and then you go into the ocean, it like stings.
Oh, I don't remember having that effect.
Yeah.
I remember they put it was an Asian woman, and she put cooling salve on my back, and I was like, I'm not like a hand job guy. But like if she had flipped me over, I'd be like, okay, I was gonna go with what I was letting her lead. That's what I would say.
Okay, sure.
It felt
even though you were there for a wax.
I was there for a wax. That's my understanding. Is like you always get blown at the end. No matter what. That's the rule. Well, I'm not a professional. I don't go to those spas that often. No, it felt great. It felt really good.
Yeah.
And they did a thing to make it calm down a little bit.
Oh, you mean after the fact?
After they waxed.
Okay. Like an aloe or something.
Yeah, like it felt like a cool
But it hurt.
It definitely hurt.
Okay, I've never had anything waxed. I cannot.
Yeah.
No, that seems so awful.
It hurt. But they weren't like ripping it out of my asshole. It's just my back.
People do that too, though.
Can't imagine.
No, it's like a big bikini. That's part of a Brazilian wax, I think.
Yeah.
No. And also, like, I'm paying for that? Ugh.
I mean, I guess I could, if your ass is going to be like, if your asshole's about to have like a primetime moment, you know, like if it's on cam, if you got like,
sure.
if you got a big,
but I better be being paid well for that, if I'm putting myself through that.
Yeah. If you like have like a fucking date with Ryan Reynolds, I guess I was like, okay, maybe.
Ryan Reynolds? Is that what you think women want?
What's wrong with Ryan Reynolds? You don't think Ryan Reynolds is? No.
I would not wax my butthole
for Ryan Reynolds. Okay, well, who is it? Fucking
Oscar Isaac.
Oscar Isaac?
Yeah.
Who the fuck is Oscar Isaac?
Don't.
Who is Oscar Isaac?
First of all, Ex Machina.
Never seen it.
Dune.
Never saw it.
Star Wars, one of those Star Wars movies. You know
Which
who
Star
he is
Wars?
if you saw him. The one that had...
I didn't see the new ones. Or I saw one of them and was like, this sucks.
I'm not in the the first Star Wars movie I saw, he was in.
Okay.
And that was like 8 years ago.
Okay.
So if you could figure out...
Oh, so he's some actor.
He's not just some actor. He's
the greatest
amazing,
actor.
But he's very attractive.
But
Ryan Reynolds is like... I think of Ryan Reynolds from like Two Guys, the Girl in a Pizza Place. Like he'll always look like that Ryan Reynolds to me.
Oh, like too young,
He's too average looking. He's basic. Yeah. And he's also, oh my God, is he going to listen to this? I also think he's not funny.
What the fuck?
I know. It's always the same.
Come on now.
No, it's always the same thing in every movie. And he's like, I'm smarmy and snarky. And it's just, it doesn't do it for me.
You don't think he's funny in Just Friends?
I haven't seen that one.
Just Friends is like, that's like a Christmas movie for us. Okay. We watch it a lot.
I might watch it. My partner likes Ryan Reynolds-ish. Yeah. But I think I'm starting to get him to not like him because I complain about it too much.
My wife got very mad at me because I like Amy Smart, and she's in that movie Just Friends.
I forgot about
she's
Amy
in Road
Smart.
Trip.
Wasn't she also in Waiting with Ryan Reynolds?
In Waiting, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just always had a little crush on her. And then when we were on our first date, I shouldn't say this because I am an asshole. I was wrong. I always ask people who they look like.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
and my wife thinks I was flirting with the waitress a little bit. And I said she looked like Amy Smart. Oh. And then like a year later, I said Amy Smart is a crush of mine. And she went, you told the fucking waitress. On our, and I was like, dude.
This is what I was talking about, that long burn with women.
This was a long burn.
Forget,
but she was actually right. Like I think I am naturally flirty and I have to curb it back.
Otherwise. Are you?
Yeah.
Okay, I've never picked that up.
Not with my friends, but with like strangers.
Okay, well,
like,
I see. Okay. No, I'm just kidding.
You're like jealous?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
How come you haven't said I look like Amy Smart?
I'm so sorry.
No, just kidding.
I'm so sorry. No, I am. Like, I'm even in like my sales job. Like, if I put on my camera and it's like a middle-aged black woman, I turn it on.
No, I can get a little flirty at work too. I mean, I don't have a job that necessarily requires me to like because it's not sales, but I do turn it on a little bit with certain types of people to get what I want.
Which is what you should do.
Yeah, it's like
it's
whatever.
a tool. It's a tool like any other tool. Like, I don't know, for sales, I mean, I feel like a lot of I like the thing I sell now. Mm-hmm. So I don't feel
bad.
bad.
Are you allowed to say what you...
I don't say it usually.
Oh, okay.
But it's not like an immoral thing. Like, it helps people's businesses.
Okay, sure.
So I'm like, it's okay if I do.
It's not like payday loans.
No, it's not like timeshare.
Right. Oh, God.
Which I used to sell.
Oh, God.
I didn't sell the timeshare. I sold the packages to go to Colonial Williamsburg to get a pitch.
Oh, my God.
People
are getting Times Squares in Colonial Williamsburg?
Timeshares.
Oh, timeshares. What did I say?
Time Squares. I don't even know what that would be. Sounds like a fun New York Times game that I haven't heard of yet. No, so I would sell, I'd go to a home and garden show in Pittsburgh, where the Penguins play, and convince a family to drive down to Colonial Williamsburg.
You're going to want to go there at least once a year and take...
that was the selling point. Is you'd be like, you can trade it in for anywhere. But the truth is you should not get a timeshare unless you like going back to that place.
Yeah,
because it's such a pain in the ass to trade and all that shit. And it really only is a good investment if you're like a teacher or something and you have a vacation at the same time every year. Then it's great. Then it's awesome. But for most people, they buy it and then 2 years later, they're like, get me the fuck out of this.
I don't want to go back there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed.
So it was kind of like but anyway, the point is now I feel like I use my sales for good.
Yeah. Okay.
You know?
Yeah. Like a superhero.
Yeah, any superhero could become bad.
Yeah,
but I think
like the reverse.
I think I'm mostly good now.
Who's a superhero that started out bad and then was good? That's got to be something, right?
Catwoman.
I thought she started off good.
Well, no, when she becomes Catwoman, I think she's bad.
She's kind of bad, and then she starts working with Batman or whatever. Okay,
I'm talking animated series here.
Okay.
Catwoman. It starts bad and goes good.
Yeah, because I feel like sometimes it's the other way, where it's like, oh, used to be an Avenger, and now I'm a meanie or whatever.
Yeah, because that's like
Thanos. No, I don't know if Thanos was ever an Avenger.
Miss Scarlet. I'm not a big Marvel guy.
Yeah, I'm not a big superhero person in general, but I did watch all the Marvel movies during COVID because I had access to Disney Plus.
Okay.
I didn't pay for it.
Did you go in order?
I tried to, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. My sister did that.
It was fine.
Stephanie.
Stephanie. I'll never know the other names.
No, my sister loves the Marvel stuff, but I'm just like,
yeah.
I was into it, and I was like, oh, fuck, I'm never going to get out of this. And then they had one Endgame where they killed people and stuff. And I was like, okay.
That was actually a good one, though.
That was good. But I also felt like, okay, now it's over, and I never have to watch one again.
Okay, Thor. That does it for me, too.
Thor.
Yeah.
The guy that plays...
Oscar Isaac and Thor.
Oh,
well, okay, fine, Chris Hemsworth. But when he's Thor,
You like Thor?
He's got the muscles.
Thor's a good look.
But he's funny, too.
He is funny.
Yeah.
He's funny in that movie. I don't know, is he funny in real life?
Chris Hemsworth?
Yeah.
I think so, but he's funny, I'm not trying to bash Ryan Reynolds forever, but comparatively to Ryan Reynolds, I think Chris Hemsworth is more naturally funny. It just feels like he's not trying when he makes a joke.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I can see what you're saying about Ryan Reynolds, but I do also feel like, I don't know, Deadpool's really funny.
Ugh.
Deadpool's really funny.
I hate Deadpool.
It's really funny.
Yeah. But also I like the idea of still, because I don't find him attractive. I love the idea of them being we found this really attractive actor, but we're going to make him ugly. And in my mind, I'm like, he's already ugly. I'm just kidding. He's not ugly. But.
Let me ask you this. This is an honest question.
Okay.
Are you somebody where if something is very popular, it points you negatively towards it?
No.
Okay.
I get what you're saying.
You're not somebody who would go I would never see Hamilton.
No. I give everything a shot. I mean, I'm not a big Taylor Swift fan, but it's not because she's so popular.
Is it because she's a 34-year-old woman writing music like she's 12?
I don't even know that much about her. But that brings up a good point because I feel like people always talk about her lyrics, and I listen to it, and I'm like, they don't do it for me. Yeah. But, okay, I guess it's fine that everybody likes her.
It's all to me at least, it's all like vengeance based. Like when I hear songs, like even if it's like plunky plunk, I'm playing my guitar, it's like, I'm gonna burn your fucking, I'm like, this is what.
Well, it is kind of like, I mean, again, I don't know her whole catalog, but when I hear about it in the news, it's like, oh yeah, she does write a lot about like exes. And it's like, well, why didn't you write about them when you were happy with them?
Yeah.
Like, I love you.
Yeah, well, also
whatever.
I mean, look, it's not just her. Like, it's, and I guess part of it, like, I guess I could give her credit in that, like, I do think she writes a lot of her own music, which is
that's
cool.
great. I think she writes for other people too.
Probably. But I think, like, you know, like, I'm also not a huge fan of, like, taking someone's art and then being like, that means they do this and that. Like, it's art, you're exaggerating, whatever. But, like, she's a fucking pop culture icon, and she does this shit where she, like, not just in her music, like, just trashes people she's been with.
Yeah.
And in my mind, I'm like, well, then who the fuck would ever choose to? Yeah. Why would you sign up for that? Like, it sounds horrible. And it's like, what kind of, like, I'm also like, I've had bad exes before. I don't fucking trash them. Like,
why just write movies about it or whatever?
Yeah.
Or like
but
make jokes and stuff.
And also like try to like, you can, what is it? You can like be inspired by something real and then separate it enough so you're not like, you know, trying to burn down people's
right, but
lives.
it's like if things go wrong with Travis, right? Is her next song gonna be like, "You played in the Super Bowl"? And like, you know what I mean?
It's gonna be like, "Catch the ball, but you drop the real one," like shit like that, where you're like, I don't know. I don't even know why we're talking about Taylor Swift. I could give a shit as well. Because
you're asking if I'm one of those people that's like averse to anything popular.
That's what it is. Well, because I know people like that, and I think I even had some of that when I was younger. Yeah. But I grew out of it. And Liz is a big reason because my wife has great eclectic taste. Like she'll go see like a play about like a mute, deaf shark or something, just some shit where I'm like, what is this?
Who can't
nobody
swim.
Nobody would like this. What are you doing?
Yeah.
And then like we'll watch like Impractical Jokers or something.
Yeah.
And she's like, this is fucking hilarious.
She can watch whatever.
She can watch whatever.
I'm the same way. Yeah.
She's like, we can go to Olive Garden and we can go to,
I fucking love
a nice
Olive
sushi
Garden.
place.
I love Olive Garden. I love BJ's Brewhouse.
BJ's Brewhouse is nice. Yeah.
In Burbank, it's always packed. I don't go because it's always packed. There's like a wait.
Yeah.
But I love places. What do they call those chain restaurants? I love chain restaurants.
I like
Zoolander. You know what I mean?
Zoolander.
Yeah. Or just, everything doesn't have to be like arty. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you know what? I think part of what broke it for me too is like I got celiac, so I can't have bread or shit.
Okay.
And
like, where's this gonna? Okay.
Well, like mom and pop restaurants. Oh. When you go there, like I get sick because they don't know what it is, or they, even if they say they do, they don't know what cross contamination is. But when you go to those fucking chain restaurants that get sued, like they'll be like, oh, you're celiac. Here's the manager. Here's a special menu we printed out for you. The manager will hand you the food if you want to come back and look at the fryer. Like they're like so like, lawsuit cautious. That I'm like, I can go to any chain restaurant and get like a full meal.
See, I've never thought of it in that way. I feel like when I go to chain, because from like the vegetarian perspective, I feel like chain restaurants are bad to go to because they, like you'll order, it'll say like, it won't say vegan salad, but it'll be like salad. And you think it's like vegetarian and then they put like bacon bits or something like plopped on it. And you're like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah. Well, I guess it depends what, like, you think Olive Garden does that?
Well, no, just like chain restaurants. Yeah. If you're not very specific about like not having the meat, it'll like appear on your plate. And you're like,
say you have a meat allergy.
Yeah. Is that a real thing?
It doesn't matter.
Oh, okay.
Just say the word allergy.
Yeah.
And they have to call the manager over.
Really? They really call the manager over?
For me, they do.
What a terrifying
experience. A lot of times. But like, I don't know if like, are you a vegetarian for like ethical reasons or?
It's like a combination. Yeah. But it's like, sometimes I'll have a piece of shrimp.
If you can't see its little eyes, like there's no cute shrimp video on YouTube. Yeah. Like you're fine.
No, it's just like, well, for me, it's like more about, I started allowing myself to have a little bit of this in that or whatever. Because I've been like a vegetarian for almost 20 years at this point. But I like to travel. I like to experience things. And it's like just recently I went to Norway, and it's a big seafood place.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, when in Norway, I feel like I should at least try it. And I did, and I hated it. It was awful.
Yeah.
But at least I tried it. And I didn't want to be like, I can't because I'm a vegetarian. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, careful. If you do everything that Norway does, you have to, like, run into a town and slit a woman's throat. And
they don't do that anymore.
I had a buddy from Norway. And
was he a Viking?
No. He's an improviser at the Pit.
Oh, dear.
But and he was like a star in Norway.
Yeah.
Like he was like known in Norway, but then he came to the Pit and was like on Super Free Monday or whatever. But we became friends. I coached his team for like years. And at some point, like, he came back over and we were all like at dinner, and it came up where, like, I've talked about this a lot. My grandfather's from Germany. He got drafted.
Yeah, my grandmother's from Germany.
Yeah, my grandfather got drafted into the German army.
So did my grandmother's brother.
Yeah, every single German man was drafted into a boy. And my grandfather was 16. So, I guess that came up in conversation, and the guy from Norway with his Norwegian accent was like, "Oh, how do you feel?" I was like, "Motherfucker, you're the Vikings. What are you talking? What kind of judgment would you have? Like, you guys did fucking horrible shit."
Yeah.
And he was literally like that at dinner, being like, talking about like going to this museum and like how they have Viking ships and stuff. And he's like proud of it. And I'm going like, dude, do you know what the Vikings did? And he's like, yeah, but the ships are cool. I'm like, there's just no, it's just been long enough.
Yes.
But anyway, I don't think the Nazis are cool.
No.
That wasn't my point.
Yeah.
My point was my Viking, my friend from Norway had no shame about Viking ships. And I was just like, I think of the Vikings as like rapists and pillagers but they have like TV shows for Vikings. Yeah,
that are comedies.
Yeah, I'm just like, what the, or they even like pirates. Mm-hmm. They have like comedy pirate shows.
Yeah, and those still exist too. Pirates do.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah, Captain Phillips. Like, that movie's based on...
Oh, yeah. Pirates.
I forget how long ago that happened.
Those are Somali pirates. That's a little different. That's like... I'm talking like...
Arg
pirates.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, those pirates... Yeah. Those are worse pirates than Somali pirates. Yeah, and those don't really
exist anymore.
No. But I'm saying, like, we think those are like the Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, sure.
But they never have a scene where they just like run through all the women in the town. Like, that part's cut out of the Disney movie.
Right.
But it's not like... It's kind of a rough thing they used to do.
Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot about pirates, I'm going to be honest. Except what I learned from, like, Hook.
Are the pirates in Hook good?
No, they're bad. They're bad. I just remember they trap you in a chest and they put a scorpion in there.
Oh, God. They make you walk the plank a lot.
Yeah, and there's an alligator that's going to eat you.
Yeah, that's tough.
There's always the walking of the plank is a thing.
I will say Hook makes me very sad.
Oh.
That movie makes me very sad.
Why? I thought it like
the whole like Lost Boys and Rufio and
oh no,
it just like it bums me.
They're eating like paint.
I don't like it. Like something about I'll say. And I'm not someone that looks back at movies and goes, this doesn't hold up too much. But, like, sometimes there's movies where, like, the way kids are getting treated, you just go, like, anything from, like, 95 and back.
Yeah.
You watch it and you just go, like...
I haven't watched Hook in a while. I remember as a kid having a crush on, like, Charlie Korsmo, I think was his name.
Okay.
And I don't remember if he played one of the Lost Boys or, like, the boy that Peter Pan, like, takes to the... Lost Boys. I don't remember that. I don't remember either.
I just remember feeling bad for the boys.
Aw.
I also like when I watch movies.
You were a boy when you watched it too.
I was a boy.
Yeah, so you felt that connection.
And yeah, well, just the idea that they're the lost boys.
Well, yeah,
it sucks to be lost.
There's like a whole like section of entertainment that is just like kids are orphans. You know what I mean?
And it's like, well, I'm trying to think of not even orphans, just like kids are alone for the whole movie, and there's adults trying to hurt them or kill them.
Yeah.
Dennis the Menace, there's a fucking Christopher Lloyd has a knife.
Yeah.
He's eating an apple with a fucking knife, like threatening and gesturing towards kids.
A kid
like,
just because he's a brat.
Yeah.
You know,
he's gonna
I'm like, you know
stick
what?
him.
You want to say Dennis is a menace. But I think the adults just don't have enough patience.
Have you watched Beetlejuice recently?
Nah, I mean, enough. Yeah, maybe in the last 3 years.
The crux of that movie, trying to marry a 15-year-old.
Wait, who tried? Oh, Beetlejuice does, right? Yeah, gross.
Yes, it's fucking gross.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
And I don't know. It's like it's just so funny. Like we live in a very like progressive town, and everything's bad. But then like I went to go see a rooftop Beetlejuice movie. People are laughing their asses off, and I'm like the offended one. Like, are you guys fucking?
Are you really?
Yes, he's trying to fucking marry a kid. It's so gross. And
you're right.
And it's like not even like subtle. He's like he's trying to. He wants to fuck her.
Yeah.
It's insane. It's an insane movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's also insane for other reasons, but.
What are the other reasons it's insane?
I mean, he's like. Isn't he like a ghost that
He's
comes
a ghost
back
that comes out
his name
of
like 3 times, and then there's that weird sand thing.
Yeah, I don't know. Liz was like, "It's fun." I'm like, "It's not fun."
I've never been a big Beetlejuice fan anyway.
I'm not a Burton guy.
I'm not a big Burton person either.
Yeah.
Actually, I think I liked it when I like Edward Scissorhands. I did like when I was a kid. I freaking loved Kathy Baker, the neighbor that would come in with her little tight like outfits, and she had the like Watergate salads and stuff. Do you know who I'm talking about? And like the whole neighborhood, like the color palette of all the houses having like a pastel sort of like almost look like Bermuda. Ish. Anyway,
you like the aesthetics of it.
I liked the aesthetics, and I loved Kathy Baker in that movie.
Well, I love the aesthetics of the first Batman movie. I think look really cool too, like the way they set up Gotham or whatever.
What's your favorite Batman movie?
Definitely the Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm. Is that the one with Heath Ledger?
That's the one with Heath Ledger.
Yeah, that's a good one. I watched that recently.
And then, all the Nolan ones, like the Dark Knight, and then I would probably go Dark Knight Rises, and then Batman Begins.
Yeah,
my top 3.
I didn't like the Bane one as much.
Even though the Bane one is flawed, it's still good.
Yeah, but I mean, like they all kind of go together anyway. So like as a series.
Yeah.
And then was the first one with Tim Burton the one with Penguin?
No, the first one with
Catwoman.
No, it's Joker.
Oh,
it's
the
Jack
Joker.
Nicholson. It's Jack Nicholson. Then the second one is Catwoman and Penguin.
Penguin.
And then it's Joel Schumacher does Riddler and Two-Face.
And the Iceman.
That's the fourth one. That's Batman and Robin. That's Mr. Freeze. And Poison Ivy.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger.
And Arnold. And everybody hates on that movie. That movie's hilarious.
I have to watch it. I haven't seen that one in a while.
You need to cool off. He has like every single line he has is a pun about being cold.
Yeah, no, it's perfect.
It's pretty fun.
I loved like the Danny DeVito as the Penguin, obviously, and I still like literally like I might even tear up right now. Get sad when all those penguins like push him down. I know he was a villain,
He's a villain,
and they push him down into the little like sewer.
Yeah, I know.
It really made me sad. He feels misunderstood to me.
He is. He's a murderer.
Sure.
He kills the Ice Queen. He pushed her off the building.
Wouldn't you though if you looked like him and you had his little like yeah. What other choice do you have?
So fucking gross. What is Tim Burton's problem? God.
I've thought about that actually with like movies in general, just like especially like scary movies, but just like when there's something fucked up in a movie, it's like a human like us came up with that.
No, like Eli Roth. He does all the horror movies like Hostel and all that stuff. And
it's like his fantasy or something.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
You're like, and like I'm not hating on it. I mean, it is what it is. But it's like, yeah, sometimes I'm just like, too many.
Yeah.
Show me. Here's the thing. There's something else about you too, right? It's not just the weird thing. Mm-hmm. Like Tim Burton could also make Schindler's List. Like, would all the characters be like fucking stick figures too?
God.
Like.
Don't put that out there. He's gonna do it.
I just want people to like push themselves.
To do, yeah. Well, there when you're like a Tim Burton or like a Wes Anderson, you're like an auteur.
Yeah.
They say. So you have an aesthetic you're sticking with, which I'm not opposed to. But if I don't like your aesthetic, sorry, I'm not going to watch all your movies.
Well, isn't that what makes Rob Reiner great? Because Rob Reiner makes great movies that are different, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like he made A Few Good Men. It's very different from.
Oh, I didn't know he did that movie.
Yeah, and he also made The Princess.
He did like comedies.
We made The Princess Bride.
Okay.
He made A Few Good Men. He did When Harry Met Sally. I'm forgetting another one, but like he has some of the best
Different
movies.
things.
Some of the best movies in every genre he's made.
Yeah.
To me, that's a much more talented filmmaker than like.
That's what I would want to do if I was.
Yeah,
a
you'd want to like
director.
try new shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. This is coming from someone who made one pilot 8 years ago. I'm like, these guys need to push themselves a little bit harder.
Hey, but you know what? Like, I mean, I don't know how much anyone's paying for anything these days, but it's like if you're the consumer and you're paying to watch the art, you do have a right to have an opinion on it.
You know what? That's a good fucking point.
That being said, if I make a movie and people don't like it and they complain, I'm gonna be like, don't watch it then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't care.
Yeah, that's a good attitude to have. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about this podcast.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, nobody's I'm not even really advertising it. Nobody's forcing anybody to watch anything. If you're commenting and like this sucks, I'm like, you suck. You fucking watched it. Gotcha. Yeah, I hope you didn't miss saying goodbye to your dad in the hospital by 5 minutes because you wasted it on this.
Yeah.
Like,
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. No, I think this will eventually become a great podcast.
Sure.
I think it's on its way.
Yeah. They usually start slow, right?
Oh, yeah. They start slow.
As someone that's not like famous,
they maintain that slowness for years.
You got to get, who's that guy that just did that interview? Cat Williams. You got to get like a Cat Williams on here. And then,
well, I had Lucas on. You know Lucas.
Yes, is that your Cat Williams?
He's my Cat Williams. He literally said, he's like, you want me to just start talking shit about everybody we knew in comedy 10 years ago? I was like, yeah, please.
Actually, yeah, do it.
We kind of did. We kind of did a little bit. That's the other thing. I'm not a huge shit talker on people, and I would feel uncomfortable on the pod doing that.
I wouldn't do that on a podcast. I would do it over like beers.
Yeah, exactly. No, I know you. I know you talk shit. I fucking know you talk shit.
I'm a nice person.
You're a very nice person, but like you like gossip.
I like gossip.
You really like it. Your eyes light up when we're like, what did he fucking do?
I love it. I really do.
Love it. Yeah.
But I like gossip when we have a common enemy or something. Like, I don't like to just randomly talk about every single person that exists. But if we had a common person, I'd be like, what now? What's next?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Look, and it's like whenever I hang out with people from New York, it's like, how you doing? Mm-hmm. How's your job? Did you fucking hear?
I know.
And then it's just, then everybody gets happy. And we all fucking shit on each other.
It's a part of being a human, honestly.
Yeah. I have a couple people. You're not one of them. Because I also think it's different how, like, I know somebody who literally talks shit on every single person.
Oof.
And I've always in my head been like, well, he's not doing it about me.
Oh, yeah, no,
But then you go like, no, he is.
Yeah.
It's like a psychosis thing or something where he's just like can't stop doing it.
Yeah.
And it's like but I don't know. I feel like it's different when you're with a friend, because when you're with friends, you can be like the things I wouldn't say to other people.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
like once you, but the point of this was like, I would, if I was on a podcast and someone was like, who did you work with that you didn't like? I'd be like, names would pop to my mind and I would just be like, everybody was great. Whatever. Like, I just don't want the fucking, that would bother me.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to be, like, if that's the thing that catapults you to fame or whatever, then it's like, now that's going to have to be like my thing.
That's everything I do. I feel it's even talking about my family. I'm like, that is a funny story about something my dad said. But then I have to be the guy that says everything.
Now you're Bam Margera.
Yeah, just like hitting my dad with a kelp in the face. Isn't that funny? Isn't it funny that all he did was make fun of his dad for being fat and like out of shape, and now he just fucking collapsed into whatever he's doing now?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were saying like his dad collapsed, like had a heart attack.
I think his dad's alive.
Yeah. Okay.
But
good.
Bam is a nightmare.
I have I don't keep up with
the Jackass boys.
The Jackass boys. I barely kept up with it when it was on TV. I think I did watch like I don't know how many seasons it was. I definitely watched like the first season.
I'd watch it when it was on, but the movies I
only watched the first movie. I went with a bunch of pit people. Like we went to the theater in like New York. And yeah, it was fun. I feel like I would get into it if I went with people, but I'm not going to seek it out, you know. So you were at the pit a little bit before I was, because when I went to go see the first Jackass movie, I was in high school, I think. That cannot be true.
I think so.
I thought the first maybe I watched the second
You
Jackass.
might have seen the second or third.
Maybe. Which is the one that the sea cucumber? I don't even want to do that. Someone's going to like make it a GIF.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was the second one or the first one?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
But I think you saw the second one, or maybe even the third one, because the first one was in high school, because I remember who I went with. I went with my two best friends.
Yeah, Stephanie and Stephanie.
And I've never laughed that hard in my life.
Yeah.
Like, at one point, I remember I was, like, literally, like, stood up in the theater and was just kind of, like, leaning over where my friend was, and I was hugging him through the chair. Like, I was laughing so fucking hard.
Even though you were emo?
Yeah.
Weren't you emo in high school?
I was a little emo.
I can't picture like an emo kid like loving Jackass. I feel like you would be like...
I think I got more into... I was more like... I don't know. If I was describing my...
aesthetic.
My aesthetic.
Your Breakfast Club character.
I think in high school I was more like... I mean, I was just in like a band. But it wasn't like emo. It was like punk.
Oh,
and then when I went to college, I got into like emo music. But we still like... We don't like sit in our rooms writing poetry. Well, all the time.
I know. I hear the music.
we still laugh, but then we're like, we think about our ex-girlfriends a lot.
Yeah.
You know, this is a balance.
As a high school, you're like my ex-girlfriend from junior high. Like,
look, I some of the music I listen to now, like, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm not embarrassed by any of my music choices. I don't care.
Yeah,
I used to be like, you know, I shouldn't admit that I like this or that and the other. I'm like, what the fuck do I care?
Give me one example.
Okay, my favorite band is Radiohead.
Okay.
Here's why I used to be embarrassed about it, though.
Yeah.
Because it became this thing where it was like, it's such a basic choice, and everyone likes Radiohead, and especially white people or whatever.
Yeah.
I still love their music, like love their music, and Tom York's like solo stuff. To this day, I listen to all of those albums on repeat all the time. I don't even introduce myself to new music. And I'm like, what do I care that
you listen to like new Radiohead?
Yeah, anything that comes out.
Yeah, because I think most people, when they're like, oh, Radiohead, they're thinking of 3 songs from the...
They're thinking of Creep.
Yeah. But like Radiohead, I can't get into it. I always try to get back. I like, oh, the new Radiohead.
Yeah.
I put it on, it's like, nah. I'm like, nope.
Yeah, I get it. But it's like,
I'm not
how
hating.
it makes me feel.
Of course.
You know what I mean?
I'm not even hating on it. If you listen to the stuff I listen to, it's like... I hate myself more than I ever let on. It's like the worst.
But I mean, I also used, like in high school, I used to love ska. So I used to listen to a lot of ska. I don't listen to ska now, though.
Yeah.
You know,
like Real Big Fish.
Oh, loved Real Big Fish.
The first No Doubt album.
Yeah.
Sugar Ray was a ska band.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's very weird. Sugar Ray was a ska band, and they had at the very end of their album, you know, like if you like listen to like old albums, they would have like their last song, 3 minutes of silence.
Oh, the hidden track?
And the hidden track.
Course.
Okay,
That's the best part of the 90s.
The hidden track on the first Sugar Ray album, which is like, is da-da-da, 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 da-da-da. It's the fucking Fly, I Want to Fly song. And then their next album, it's nothing but that.
It's nothing but
that. They went, we are that now.
They were like, oh my God, we got it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But the rest of their album is like, it's a punk ska album.
Yeah.
And it's really, I don't think it's really good. But I liked it a lot.
Yeah.
That Sugar Ray album was pretty influential on my band.
Yeah. Did you do ska?
No,
or
we did
you
like
have horns. I mean,
no, they were like, it was like a lot of like fast pace vocals, and that's what we did.
You didn't do any rapping, did you?
We did no rapping.
Okay, that's my least favorite kind of. It was like rock rap. I don't like that.
I could still like rock rap.
No,
like
not me.
I'm like I could. There's Linkin Park songs I can get into. Like,
Oh
like when
my
I'm working
God.
out, I will do some rock rap.
Dude, California radio stations love Foo Fighters, Red Hot Chili Peppers, and Linkin Park.
Yeah.
Every time I turn on the radio, it's like
Very where I was at DC.
crawling in my skin, like that song.
They will.
Oh my God, you know my first concert was Papa Roach.
And just Papa Roach?
Oh, do you remember the band was called Head PE?
No.
I think that was the name of the band, or that was the name of the
POD.
album. No, it was like, I can't even think of the song. They had like they were like a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
And it was at a fairly small venue in Corpus Christi, Texas, which is where I'm from.
Yeah.
And that was at the age where I was still trying to figure out like what's cool and should I pretend to like this?
Yeah.
And I went with older kids. I think it was like maybe the first time I'd gone out like in a I don't know, I was like surprised my parents let me go.
Yeah.
And I want to say the kids, they're not even kids, they were like 18. I had a crush on one of the guys. He was a chef at the Chicken Shack where I worked.
Oh man.
It's getting better. He had an eyebrow piercing. And I went and I remember thinking like, I have to pretend I like this. I didn't. I mean, I liked Alanis Morissette. I didn't like Papa Roach, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I remember going and being terrified. I was like, I'm going to die in a mosh pit. Like, that's going to be how I die.
Papa Roach, those mosh pits for like those types of bands when I was in high school were like, they were fun, but then you'd catch an elbow and be like, oh, this isn't so much fun. I'm bleeding. Tooth is loose. Like, you get fucked up in those things.
I only once got like, I went to Warped Tour after school one year. I think I like wore my Vans and then was like on the edge being pushed around and like got myself out of there. I was like terrified.
I love Warped Tour. And I was even like, I even get like claustrophobic, but I'm cool in crowds because I can look up and see the sky.
Oh.
But if there's like a...
Interesting. Oh, yeah, like a dome or something.
I will start to feel weird.
Yeah, I get that.
But yeah, I would go to Warped Tour. I would show up 3 hours early.
Yeah.
And I would stand by the gate when the trucks came in to build the stages.
Oh, shit.
And they would give me a pass. I would help build the stage, and then I would go backstage.
They don't start building the stage until 3 hours before?
Well, it's a traveling show.
Yeah.
So if you just go to... So like it's literally they build the stage every day there's a show.
Oh, okay.
But you have to show up at like 5 o'clock in the morning, and the concert starts, or the festival starts at like noon.
So they let a fan just help build the stage?
No, I would just I can't remember who told me to do it, but like somebody was like, if you go early and help them build the stages, just stand by the gate where the trucks come in. They'll give you a backstage pass.
That is so weird to
So
me.
I went and I just hung by, and as guys were coming in on trucks, I'd just be like, hey man, is it cool if I help you guys build and maybe grab a pass? And they were like, yeah. And so like I helped build like a whole side stage at Warped Tour. And then I just took a nap from like...
And this is like high school?
This is high school.
Okay.
And I took a nap from like 9 to noon, and then when it started, I was like wide awake, and I was backstage for every band.
Oh my God.
And it's every band.
Yeah.
It's like 100 bands, and I know all of them, and I'm like just, watching people come on. I saw Jared Leto. Mm-hmm. Fucking douchebag.
30 Seconds from Mars?
30 Seconds to Mars.
Was he playing in that band?
Yes.
Or he was, okay, yeah.
And they like went, the whole point of Warped Tour is you're supposed to like, do 30 minutes, tell everybody to hang out for the next band. It's like pass the baton. Mm-hmm. You don't go over your time. You don't pull people away. Like, so they're just like the most Hollywood douchebag band. Like they're waving flags during songs, and it's like throwing out like a bouquet of roses, just like the stupidest shit.
It's not very Warped Tour-ish.
I mean, I don't even care about that. Like, I'm just saying, like, personally, they're all wearing like matching white suits. Like, they just look stupid. I still kind of like their music, but they just
I couldn't even recognize a song.
They were a very pretentious band, and that's not the vibe. There is pretentious.
No, not at all.
Yeah, everybody's like a underground punk band.
We're all wearing T-shirts.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah. So at the end, he grabs they go like 10 minutes over. I remember the band going after their name was Halifax.
Oh, I think I remember that.
They're like a
band.
Canadian punk band. And I'm backstage, so they're 10 feet away from me with their guitars, being like, "What the fuck?" Like they're getting pissed off, and Jared Leto's just doing a speech, And then eventually at the end, he just grabs a big flag and he goes, all right, everybody, follow me to the merch table. And he jumps into the crowd and like the Pied Piper like leads the band away, leads all the fans away.
What was on the flag?
A big 30 Seconds to Mars thing.
That is so weird.
And then like the guy comes on stage for Halifax and he's like, what the fuck, was like into the mic. He's like, what is going on? Like people are leaving.
Yeah.
They did the exact opposite of what you're supposed to do at Warped Tour.
Yeah.
Which was like, go over, pull the audience away, like shit all over the band coming after them. Like their set sucked.
Yeah.
It was not cool.
I feel like the lead singer of Halifax should have jumped off stage and started his set at the merch table.
That would have been,
brought everyone back.
That would have been good.
But I wasn't there to give him that idea, so
yeah, I was 15, so I didn't feel like it was my place to interject.
You were like, I helped build the stage.
No, I just remember being like, well, whoever that, I didn't even know who he was. I was like, whoever that guy was from 30 Seconds to Mars was a fucking tool. And then I was like, oh, he's an actor, and then he like won Oscars and shit.
Yeah, or at least one Oscar.
He's a dick.
Oh, I haven't heard great things about him.
No,
I don't care. I'm never gonna be friends with him.
Yeah, I have a friend who like worked with him.
Oh, okay.
I shouldn't say any of this. I have to stop. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I don't give a shit. But the point of that Warped Tour thing was like, that was the most fun.
Yeah, it was super fun.
One time I was in a mosh pit and my cousin fell on top of me.
Oh.
Didn't know he was there. Like a guy like fell on me and I was like,
wow.
Yeah, he was like, hey, throw me up. And I just threw him back up. And then the next time I saw him was like Easter. I was like,
10 years later.
No, it was like 3 months later. I see him all the time.
Yeah.
But it was like fucking crazy. Like of all the places, he just fell on top of me in a mosh pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If it wasn't your cousin and it was like a woman, that would be a nice sort of Warped Tour punk.
Oh, like I found.
Cute. Yeah. To be like, how'd you meet? Oh, I literally fell into his arms.
That would be the song.
After like a guy grabbed my tits and threw me up.
That would be the song Rock Show by Blink-182.
Oh no.
That's the song.
Is that really what it's about?
I fell in love with the girl at the rock show.
Oh, shit.
She
You're
said
right.
what?
Okay.
And I told her that I didn't know.
Yeah.
She's so. And I think they're singing about. Yeah, he literally says Warped Tour. I couldn't wait for the summer at the Warped Tour.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So
They don't have the line about grabbing her tits and throwing her back up on the.
Blink-182 is probably a little deeper than I am.
Blink-182.
I know you love them,
I fucking love them.
so I will not say things. No, I don't dislike them, but I do think that a lot of it sounds the same to my head.
Of course. And my wife, I'll be like, have you heard this? She's like, this is the same.
She's like, I think I heard this 20 years ago. What are you talking about?
Then she plays like, to me, everything she listens to, I'm like, oh, this is Fiona Apple's Criminal.
Yeah.
Over and over and over and over again. Just a lady plunking away at a fucking piano. Talk singing. Ugh. I fucking hate it. No, it's cool. You know, she listens to whatever she listens to. No, I also think like for my music taste or whatever, like I know we were talking about like was I emo or whatever in college. I feel like I just was whatever people were around me.
Yeah.
For like
same.
until I was 25.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite band is Radiohead, but I also love musical theater.
Yeah.
So I have range, you know.
Yeah. When you lived in New York, were you seeing a lot of shows and stuff?
Oh, yeah. I saw so many. I saw when I first moved there, because you could get like student discounts and sometimes even cheaper. I would see a show like once a month.
Okay.
I mean, you could get tickets for like $20.
You talking about the TKTS booth?
Yeah, or you could do TKTS, or you do like the lottery, or they do like student discount. You just had to like hustle. You know, you'd have to make sure you're at this box office at this time or whatever. But I would see like one a month. And I basically continued to do that until I moved here. I saw a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Plays and musicals.
My wife she went to school for theater. Mm-hmm. So like that became like we do the Pantages.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Didn't I call you once?
I don't think you called me.
No. Yes.
Because I did have, when Hamilton came to the Pantages, I signed up for the season pass or whatever.
I'm a little hurt you don't remember this. I was working at the Pantages and I got leads and Desiree Nash came up.
We talked on the phone?
Yes, I called you and was like, did you buy tickets to whatever show?
But did you call me from you called from the Pantages?
I called from the Pantages.
I can't believe I would have answered that. I never answer the phone if it's like.
I might have tapped. Maybe that part I don't remember.
That's so
but
funny.
I remember talking to you.
Oh, sorry.
With looking at your lead, because I would see people's leads all the time.
Yeah.
They only had
I don't know what a lead is.
So like the information you call somebody from, like a sales lead.
Oh, okay.
So if somebody bought a ticket at Pantages, they put their phone number down, they print it off, and they're like,
we got her.
Call them and get them to come see, fucking
Cinderella or whatever.
Yeah.
I just remember that season that Hamilton was there. They also had like garbage shows.
Yes.
But I was like, I paid for this, so I went to The Bodyguard or whatever.
I remember selling The Bodyguard. We're a little over, so we'll end it soon. But I think I was using my sales for good at that point.
Yeah, that's not a bad thing to sell.
No, but me telling somebody that like, SpongeBob, it stars music from David Bowie. Literally uses like a clip of his music for 5 seconds. I'd be like, it's like
David Bowie will be there.
David Bowie,
maybe
Chaz Palminteri will sit next to you during a Bronx Tale and whisper, "You could have been like me." It's great. You're gonna love it. You're gonna have a great time. I remember we did. Is it Oklahoma?
That's not a bad musical.
No, but it was the new one, which sucked.
The one, yeah.
Where they were like, let's take all the fun music out of Oklahoma and make it sad and weird. And I would tell people like, yeah, if you come, they're gonna have like stew and oatmeal or cornbread.
Oh, like as a treat?
Yeah. I told people that for like a year.
Who the hell wants to eat soup in a theater?
I don't know. It was a selling point for me. You get soup and cornbread when you come in.
And was that true?
No.
Oh.
I thought in sales, what happens is somebody says something once and you just go, okay, into your head. And now it just becomes part of your thing. Yeah. And like what would happen is my manager would walk by and be like, what the fuck did you just tell somebody?
Why are you telling them that?
Did you just tell somebody SpongeBob SquarePants comes down from the rafters? What are you saying? I don't know.
Those poor like ushers that work there probably had to like deal with your lies all the time. Like old ladies were like, "Excuse me, I thought we were supposed to get stew."
I mean, I used to fucking.
Eric.
It's called pitch and heat.
Oh wow, you really are a salesman. You know all the terms and everything.
I know. I used to like when I was selling timeshare. I would be like, again, I'm talking to a family in like Cleveland.
Yeah, they're gonna have stew and cornbread.
And they'd look at a photo of like the resort. And they'd be like, oh, I see a pool there. How many pools do you have there? I'd be like, how many kids do you have?
Oh, my God.
They'd be like, 4. I'd be like, we have 4 pools. A pool for every kid. Just had all these lines that I would say that, like, none of them were real.
Wow.
It was just fucking buy the thing so I can move on to the next person.
I'm telling you, I'm not buying season passes so I can get stew and cornbread. I'm telling you that right now. You're gonna have to tell me something else.
I'm trying to remember the things I would lie about on the shows. I think I would just like I would say like, well, this is what I'd say like The Bodyguard, like you mentioned. Like I remember selling The Bodyguard when I was there, and like I would be like, look. You know it and I know. The only thing you like more than a really good musical theater show is a bad one. All right? Now you come, you watch The Bodyguard, and you make fun of it with your friends.
Exactly.
And they'd be like, okay. Yeah, I'm like, this, you're going to be laughing so hard.
Yeah, I think I left an intermission for that one.
Yeah.
The music is obviously good. And the person that played the Whitney Houston role had an amazing voice.
Probably better than her.
That was the best. What?
No, I'm just kidding.
That was the best part of the show. But the in-betweens, I was like, oh, barf.
That's pretty rough.
So bad.
They have a Michael Jackson one.
I will not be seeing
What's the deal with that?
What? Does it take place in Neverland?
No, just why not? He did things to me. It's none of his music. It's just the victims.
Oh, God.
Once that came out, I was like, oh, well, that'll be...
canceled.
I'm like, now he's over.
No, people
and then,
are over it.
And then the next wedding I went to...
people are over it.
People are over it.
I'm starting to hear his music come back again.
It's kind of weird.
It is weird. It's
that's the thing about that whole time. It's over now, but like now the new generation knows like, oh, if I get canceled online, that means I get followers. Like even young comics,
they'll, like dox you or whatever.
Yeah, even young comics now come on stage and intentionally say fucked up stuff because we've made it. Culture has made it so taboo that it's the only funny thing now.
Yeah.
So I think we're past like someone writes a blog and people's careers suffer.
Yeah.
But what was the fucking point of what I was saying?
Why is Michael Jackson okay again?
Oh no, because it's like there were people that should have gone away.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like Michael Jackson is totally one of them.
Yeah.
But people like they're like, they get blown out on some like fucking Aziz Ansari shit. And then Michael Jackson stays.
I know.
I'm like, why is it's fucking weird.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson is so guilty.
Oh, for sure. But it's also, it's a generational thing. So like he came up and became really big back when everyone was in denial about shit like that.
Yeah.
But nowadays, like with Aziz, whatever, but like think of another person that was like
in trouble. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, well, we don't tolerate that anymore.
Yeah.
I think is the thing.
It's just, yes, I get that it's a different time, but I'm like, that I don't know. I watched the fucking thing with the guys talking.
Oh yeah. The one, the HBO special.
Yeah.
He's totally.
And then was at a wedding a month later, and it was like rock with, and you're just like,
I know.
I guess people don't care.
But it's also like, the generation that is older than us are probably the ones that like financed this musical. They're the ones with the money talks.
Yeah.
And then the people going to see it are people that probably either thought he was innocent or didn't care enough or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, or I guess they just like, I think maybe that's just like a way that people, I remember there was like I can't remember whose joke it was, but somebody had a joke about like how many Dead Kids is like a really good album worth.
Oh my God. I don't even get the joke.
Well, I think the joke was like, I can't remember. I don't remember who said it or what it was, but it was like a special I watched where it was like there's a cost to great music, and it's often the suffering of the people around the artist. That was the conceit of it or whatever. Yeah. But I don't know. Even like half the bands on Warped Tour were like, our drummer has been accused of terrible things, we're taking a break.
I thought you were gonna say that they had been like victims because there are certain age groups. So I thought.
Well, I mean, that's the percentage of people who do that stuff have mostly had it done to. I mean, what are we getting into right now?
Yeah, we are. Are we ending soon?
I was like, before we get out of here, the history of pedophilia.
We could really dive into pedophilia a little bit.
Pedophilia stats. Just keep these guys interested. Holy shit, that might be the worst ending. That's the worst ending I've ever had to an episode.
Perfect. I'm glad I was here for it.
Do you want people following you on social media?
They can if they would like to.
Where should they go?
They should go to Instagram, and my name is Des Nash.
Okay, great.
On Instagram. That's basically the only place you should go.
DEZNASH.
Yeah. At the beginning of Nashville.
Is your Frasier script still up anywhere? People should read it. It's on my Instagram. People should read it. It's very funny.
Thank you. I want people to read it. I don't know how to get anyone to read it. Just click on the link.
I mean, this is going to get you at least 3 or 4 clicks.
Hey, I'll take it.
Yeah.
I mean, and I keep it up because I forget how long ago I put it up. Not that long ago. But like once a year, I'll get like a text or something from someone that's like, just read your Frasier script. And it's like random. Yeah. And they're like, I thought it was so funny. And I'm like, great. Glad I kept it up so you could read it.
For me, it's like when I read it, because I'd never seen Frasier until recently, like I think COVID, we started watching it because it's one of Liz's favorite shows.
Yeah.
And then I noticed it on your account. I think I probably messaged you during COVID, like I might have been one of those people, like this is really fucking good. But you like, to me, you wrote it that day. It could have been up for years.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm like, look, this is fucking.
It's timeless. That's what you're saying.
It's evergreen.
For
a little callback. This was super fun.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thanks for doing it. Next time, do you want to come on with guests? You seemed upset that there weren't more people.
No. I wasn't upset. I just wasn't sure. Yeah. There could be guests. There could be not guests. We didn't run out of things to talk about.
We didn't.
Still had to delve more into the pedophilia.
Well, there was a thing I was going to tell you that I was like, I'll tell you after the show, but I can't remember what it was now.
Oh, okay.
But I'll see it when I'm editing.
Okay.
I probably have to edit some names out, but besides that,
we only said one name, and Michael Jackson.
We can say famous people's names.
Jared Leto, Michael Jackson, Shonda Rhimes.
Fuck Jared Leto. Let it be known. I'm starting that's my feud.
Yeah.
That's my feud, is how Jared Leto acted Warped Tour in 2001. Thanks for coming, Des.
Thanks for having me.